NuSpecian product line of high-potency nutritional supplements empower your body to fight for you so you can enjoy your life full of energy, strength, and endurance.
Our mission at NuSpecian is to offer products to help purify and rebuild your body system so you can lead a better, longer life.
NuSpecian formulas are designed to comprehensively meet your body's nutritional needs. A tablespoon can replace many bottles of tablets filling your cabinets. NuSpecian raw plant-based ingredients are easily absorbed and used by your body. It's safe and effective nutrition that you can really feel. Each of our formulas is designed to support your body as a whole, allowing it to do the work it was designed to do.
My labs have shown that my body's gotten stronger, so I know NuSpecian works.
Maintain, improve, or rebuild your health with the help of NuSpecian.
Order now at NuSpecian.com.
Welcome to the NuSpecian Live. I am Jillian.
And I'm Aston. Good morning.
Good morning. NuSpecian's mission is to help our clients live longer or better and longer. NuSpecian provides powerful nutritional supplements that are designed to help your body be resilient against the toughest of health challenges. Everyone is on their own health journey, and good health choices mean something different for each of us. And that's why we're hosting this Q&A every Saturday at 10 a.m. So you can ask the questions that will help you take the next step toward your health goals. If you're watching us on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, that is totally fine. Welcome, and we're happy to have you. But if you hope to join in the Q&A, that chat box is only being monitored on our website. So if you don't mind, you won't miss anything. It takes 5 seconds. Just go to NuSpecian.com, click on live stream from the main menu, and you'll scroll to the Q&A. And once you click watch now, you'll be with us, and you can immediately start chatting in the chat box. If we can see that you're chatting on one of those platforms, we will, but usually we're pretty focused on the chat box here on the site. So please, we don't want to miss anything that you have to say. We want your participation. This is for you. You set the agenda. And if we don't have your chats, then we're going to make up things we want to talk about. And that might not be what you want to hear.
So get those questions rolling
Yes.
in your chat box. Yeah.
All right. We want to make sure that you are on NuSpecian's list, whether it is downloading our app and allowing notifications from us, whether it's actually joining our email list, giving us your mailing address so we can mail you fun things, educational articles and promotions, or whether it's allowing us to text you and call you for marketing purposes. Whatever you prefer, we want to make sure that we can reach you. We don't want to put the burden on you. We know you're busy. If you're dealing with a health issue, you're even busier. It's a part-time job when you're seeing doctors and getting labs drawn and tracking all kinds of appointments. So we don't want you to have to remember to reach us. But in order for us to reach you, we do need permission for that. So in the chat box, there's going to be a link to a form. Mary's put in the link to both the app stores on Android or iPhone, so you can download the app. But there's also a link to our form that updates your record in our system. And by filling out that form, you are giving us permission to reach out to you. We really don't send a whole lot of communication just when it's important. Plus our newsletter is weekly. So that's the most you might hear from us from most of those ways. And it's important because if you've been used to hearing us on the radio, by radio we mean 93.5 FM, at some point that's going to switch over. They have new ownership now, and it's going to be, I think, more focused on Christian radio and conservative commentary and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure they have their own agenda, and they've purchased the station to achieve their own goals. And I don't think Caribbean radio is going to continue. At least that's how we're preparing for the worst, that we won't be on air much longer. We don't exactly know. You could wake up tomorrow, turn to 93.5 FM and not hear the programming that you have come to love for the last, Well, for us, it's been 13 years, but you may have been listening to that station for 30 years. So we want to make sure that when you are looking for the content that you need for your health, you know how to get it from NuSpecian, because we will continue to be broadcasting. We're broadcasting in Florida on a new radio station for us. We're also broadcasting live here on our website. And then we do live broadcasts to social media as well. So if you're on our list, you will always know what's going on at NuSpecian, and you will never miss the educational content that you have come to rely upon. And we want to be there for you. So click that link, fill out the form, and make sure we can reach you and give you the information that you need. All right. Also, and then starting a couple weeks ago, we have started leaving the archive of these live shows up on NuSpeciesTV.com. So that way, if you miss the live show, you can always go back and watch it. And you can submit your questions as well in advance on our app. So if you've downloaded the app from the links we just put in the chat, you can go to, on the homepage, there's a little block that says submit your question. And then if you don't get to join the show, if you give us your email, we can always email you the clip where we answer your question.
And don't tell us you don't have questions, because when I get on the phone with you or when I meet with you, you barrage me with questions. So please ask them here, leaving out your personal or your private information. So, the whole NuSpecian family worldwide can benefit from, your questions. And of course, it's fine to just listen in, but please, send your questions. And then if you don't, we are going to just do our own thing like I'm going to do now. There are a few things I just want to, to do for all of you. You know that we have tens of thousands of clients worldwide, and that I talk to a lot of those clients, and I have actually looked at thousands, many thousands of different labs with different people, from radiology to just blood tests, urine tests, and all of that. So I want to give you some pointers, for you to do some monitoring on your own when you get your labs from your doctor. Your doctors may not be able to go through the whole thing. So just things for you to look out to that will indicate that your health is in trouble or your life may be imperiled. Things to look out for. And when you see these things in the lab, you should schedule an appointment with your doctors, whether they're specialists or just your primary care physicians, and have a chat with them. So I'm going to run through them very quickly so we can get to the main part of our Q&A this morning. So a few things to look out for everybody, men and women, including children. If the WBC is low, if the white blood cell is low, WBC, it means that your immune system is very weak, and you can get any infection, and you can even get cancer, because most of the people who come to me who have cancer, their WBC is low. So look out for that. And when you see that, you should feel, very, very concerned that your health or your life is imperiled. Look out for the hemoglobin. It's in the CBC section. If it's low, it means that you're anemic. It means that you don't have enough blood. And that too can lead to chronic diseases, even cancer, because if your hemoglobin is low, it also means that you don't have adequate oxygen in your body. And oxygen is primary to help the immune system to fight cancer. Vitamin D low, you all should panic about that. It's one of the cornerstones of the immune system. PSA over 3 for men. A lot of men are dying of prostate cancer, especially black men, because the PSA was in the normal range, below 4, but over 1, and they had the cancer for years. And by the time the PSA gets to 4 or over, they go to the doctor. It was spreading already to their bone marrow or their lung. So if your PSA is over 3 and over, you should panic. But if it's over 1, you probably should start checking with your doctor to do an MRI. And then this is a huge one. If your creatinine or your EGFR, these are for the kidneys. If the creatinine is high, the EGFR is low, it's indicating that your kidney is sick, and it could be leading to kidney disease or even kidney failure. Keep in mind now that there's no medication for kidneys. So all these things I'm telling you about, the WBC, the hemoglobin, the vitamin D, the kidney issues, there's no medication. Once you see those in your labs, that's what I'm telling you about them. Once you see them in your labs, there's no medication, pharmaceutical medication to get rid of them. Including the PSA, there's no medication except surgery, radiation, chemo, or if you get hormone therapy, which is very dangerous, can help you with your prostate. So if you see those numbers climbing, you should hit the panic button for yourself, and you should start taking care of yourselves. Just one more thing. There are certain inflammatory conditions. A lot of you have asked me about it over the years. By the way, all that you're getting now is what I have seen. Didn't read it in a study. It's what I have seen. So you look at your labs, and your calcium is high, hit the panic button. You could have cancer cells. If your iron gap, your C-reactive protein, if they're high, hit the panic button. You could have cancer cells. Your ESR, the sedimentation, if it's high, hit the panic button. Your protein is high, the squamous epithelial high, hit the panic button. If all of these are high, it is probably impossible that you don't have cancer. If all of these I just mentioned, calcium and iron gap, the sedimentation, the C-reactive protein, high WBC, if they are abnormal, all of those in your one lab, it is highly likely you do not have cancer.
So
even if you do the
calcium and iron
the calcium and iron gap, the C-reactive protein, the sedimentation, WBC.
Protein.
So if you look at your lab and all of these are high, and what I have found is that a lot of people who have these in their labs and they're sick, they're feeling sick, they're very sick, some of them are even hospitalized. And the doctors do MRI and PET scan and all the exams and could find nothing wrong. But in the end, maybe a month later, several months later, when the conditions get worse, these conditions get worse, suddenly the doctors find stage 4 cancer. A lot of people who come to me, the first symptom of cancer was stage 4 when these numbers are high. So you need to take proactive action at home to monitor your lab reports. And we're going to publish these so that you can have a reference point on our app. Another reason why you and your family should have our app, so you can always get your labs and go back to our app and look at these different measurements in your labs to determine whether you're in trouble or not. And if you are in trouble, you see these in your lab, you should sit down with your doctor, because your doctor could miss them. The doctors either miss them or overlook them because your doctors are very busy. You have to take charge of your health. You have to. The doctors won't. They're going to give you treatment. That's what they're there for. But they can't manage your health for you. They don't have time to do that. They're not being paid to do that. The insurance company is not paying them to do that. You have to do it. All right? And then if all fails, of course, we're here in NuSpecian. You come to us, and we're never going to let you down. We're going to do the best we can.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. We're also going to do a special video that we'll post on the app and on NuSpeciesTV.com as well, which will actually bring up a lab and show you where those numbers are on the lab, what it looks like when they're high or low. And so you'll be able to reference that video at any time.
Yep.
All right. To the chat. Hello to Barrington, Hopeton. Hi, Gary. Hi, June. Thank you for joining us here. If you haven't said good morning yet, please do. We'd like to see your name in there. Barrington was just asking how he could connect with you or I. Barrington, you're welcome to talk to me anytime, but if it's actually a health concern where you need a custom recommendation, that's always going to be asked in. I see you put your number in the chat, so we will make sure client services reaches out to you and sets up a consultation. Unless what you need is something else, then they'll take care of that for you.
And if you have a lab report that you haven't shared with us over the past, let's say within the past year, by the time we get to you, you can just, take some pictures with your phone and send them in, or fax them in, or email them in, so that I have something to look at if that's, what you want to see us about.
Right. And you can get ahead of that to save time.
Right.
All right. Hopeton is saying, good morning, blessed, my friend. I am calling you my friend because I know you for so long and I respect you for so long now. Thank you, Hopeton. That's to Aston, I'm sure.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Hopeton.
He says, anyway, I cannot participate right now because I'm in therapy in the nursing home, but I'm still trying to get customers, so just sit tight and we'll watch.
Okay.
Thank you, Hopeton, for joining and watching. Gary Smith says, top of the morning, Aston. I'm looking forward to talking to you. Great. Gary, I hope if that's now, then send us your chat. Otherwise, maybe you're referencing an appointment that you already have.
Awesome.
June says happy Saturday. Hi, June.
Hi, June.
And then June likes that we're leaving the show up because she can't take notes fast enough when we're live.
Oh boy. Yeah, we know, June.
Understood,
yeah.
understood.
You see, we're trying to think ahead as much as we can. But thank you for making sure that we know to leave them up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Suzanne Brown says, good morning, happy Saturday. Hi, good morning, Suzanne. All right, so we have we don't have any new questions right now in the chat, so we'll go back to the one we didn't get to last week, which was from FJ. And FJ asked, I need to get rid of my blood pressure medication. What's the approach to achieve this? Also, what's the impact on the liver and kidneys with your supplement?
So I'll answer the second question or the last question first. Positive impact NuSpecian in your whole body, because that's what NuSpecian is designed to do, is to support the whole body, support your immune system, to rebuild the organs, rebuild the glands. And of course, when you're rebuilding the body and you're detoxing, cleaning, purifying the body using our detox, you're getting the best that anyone can do for you, cleaning and rebuilding the whole body so your body can fix itself, heal itself, or if you're healthy, so you can live better and longer. Better means you're healthier, you can move around, you can take vacation, you know, you can do all the things you want to do. That's what better mean. And then you live long doing that. And I say that, I'm stressing this because I have a lot of clients who have health issues like kidney failure, and they can't take a vacation. They can't go back. Let's say they're from somewhere else in the world. They can't afford to go back because they need dialysis. So it's good to just fix these issues, whether it's a heart issue, kidney issue, prostate issue, fix it before they get to that point, because they really just curtail your life. Now, as for the first question, how to get rid of your blood pressure medication, so of course, if you want to get rid of your blood pressure medication or any medication you all are taking, you have to make sure you remove the basis or the need for the medication. In this case, high blood pressure. You have to make sure that your pressure is normal. That's the only time you should come off your blood pressure medication. Yes, you hate it. Yes, it's causing other issues. It's causing brain issues, liver issues, prostate issues. It's causing you to be sick. It's causing you to be sleepy. I get all the symptoms from all of you. Yes, you have to stay on it because the doctor puts you on the medication, because if you don't take the medication, you could get a stroke or a heart attack. Now, what you can do, you come to NuSpecian. We will rebuild the 60,000 to 90,000 miles of blood vessels you have. That's what, you know, the average adult human. That's the number of miles of blood vessels we all have. We can help you to rebuild your blood vessels. That's where blood pressure lives. And when your blood vessels are properly rebuilt, your pressure will go back to normal. Your blood will flow properly the way it should. So that's the other way to get rid of your medication. You have to make sure you don't have high blood pressure. If you want to use NuSpecian, we're here and happy to help you. Now, blood pressure doesn't go away overnight, because I just mentioned the 60,000 to 90,000 miles of blood vessel. That's the average for an adult human. It has to be, those blood vessels have to be rebuilt. So you have to be patient. You'll see your numbers getting better and better until your body goes back to normal, and then you go back to your doctor and you say, hey doc, my pressure has been normal for 2 weeks or 1 month. And you should tell the doctor what you're doing. Because if the doctor thinks that you're taking the medication and that's what's causing your blood pressure to stay normal for up to a month or more, the doctor naturally will assume that you need to stay on the medication to keep it normal. But you take your NuSpecian bottles and you say, hey doc, I've been taking care of myself. I've been eating better. I've been exercising. And I've been taking these, natural formulas or products from, this company called NuSpecian. And I've been taking them for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. And the doctor will look at them, probably Google NuSpecian and check it out and say, okay, maybe you can come off the medication now. And that's what doctors do. Some doctors even call me to confirm that people are taking NuSpecian for a certain period of time before they go ahead and take you off the medication. So whether it's blood pressure or diabetes, any medication you're taking, and you're taking new species, you must, I implore you, yes, the doctor's going to yell at you. They're going to say new species is no good, or natural products are no good, or health products are no good. They're going to say that because they don't know better. But you should still tell them so they know that you're doing other things to take care of yourself. Okay? So that's the way to get off your medication. Any medication, whether it's radiation, chemo, blood pressure medication, diabetes, heart, any medication you're taking, once your body is properly rebuilt and the doctors see it reflected in the lab report, they will take you off the medication. And that's what I have seen consistently. The doctors always do that once your lab reports reflect bad.
Right, great. What about should we link to the blood pressure support starter package just in the meantime?
Yeah, most people are taking our
Mary got it in there.
blood pressure support, the basic starter, and most people don't have to go to the upgraded. You know, it's stronger, it's more highly concentrated, it's more potent, and it costs a few more pennies. But most people never had to go higher than the basic starter for blood pressure or for diabetes or all the issues that you have. We have starter packages for them. If you don't see them in the app, if you don't see them on the website, just call us and we'll make one for you specific to the condition you have. But the starter packages we have, they cover all the main conditions that, you know, people would come to us with over the last many, many years.
Right, and then we also say that if you want to rebuild your health and you're on medication and you're working with your doctor, but your doctor doesn't actually believe you can rebuild your health or that your blood pressure will ever go away. If your doctor doesn't believe you'll ever come off your medication, then you need a doctor who does believe that because they're out there. So it's hard to have a conversation with your doctor about this if they don't believe you'll ever come off your medication. So you want a doctor who actually has the same goals for you as you have for you. And then you'll see between that doctor and what NuSpecian is doing, it's really hard to not get the results you're looking for because it's possible.
Right. We have many doctors now who tell their patients or our clients that NuSpecian is good for them. Some doctors even write NuSpecian into their prescription. You heard me. Yes. The doctors prescribe the medication and they also write NuSpecian in the prescription. That those patients they have should take NuSpecian because the doctors have seen the results of those patients taking NuSpecian. So you should tell your doctors. Maybe not all of them will frown on you, but I think it's a great thing to do. And just so you all know, a lot of doctors all around the United States, in all the top hospitals in the tri-state here and elsewhere in the United States, a lot of doctors refer their patients to NuSpecian. A lot of doctors do. A lot of doctors send us their family members to take NuSpecian. So not all doctors will frown. And if yours frown, just keep moving. Just keep going. As Jill says, maybe you get a new doctor, one that understands the power of good nutrition, because that's what we are. We're giving you good nutrition to rebuild your body, rebuild your immune system, to purify your body so you can be healthy. That's what we do. That's all we're doing.
Right. And Fitzgerald joins. He says, good morning. Thanks for caring and sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for being here, Fitzgerald. All right. We don't have any further questions. Gary did say, Aston, I would love to talk to you after the Q&A. It is urgent. So I just let Gary know that after the Q&A, Aston goes right to his booked calendar for the day. Aston's calendar is usually booked at least a week, if not 2 weeks out. When there are urgent situations, Aston has to prioritize urgent clients who are already working with Aston, whether it's cancer or serious health issues. And those clients usually pick up any kind of urgent slots in the calendar. Gary, I don't know if you're actively already working with Aston or you have an appointment on his calendar. So if you could just email me and give me the best contact information and just give me a little synopsis of what it is that is going on, then we can see how that fits in with Aston's calendar. But if you wanted to try to ask the question now, that would be ideal because we are here.
And if it's personal, I'll do my best to filter out, anything that's embarrassing. But we're here now, and that's great that you're on. Thank you for joining. And that's actually, it's another great way to get to me. Get your family and friends to join the Q&A and to say, Aston, I need to talk to you. It's urgent. And I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I
One
think
of
that's
the
wonderful.
one of the things that helps is this is why we often recommend the starter packages, and we recommend that you are continuously working with NuSpecian, because when things do become urgent, we already have potentially recent labs for you. We already know what you're working on and dealing with. And if you're consistently on the products, even if it's a maintenance package or a starter package, you're likely going to have less urgent situations because your body is going to be in a strong place to maintain and regulate itself. So that's why, because when things become urgent, Aston and NuSpecian, we're not an emergency room, we're not doctors. And so if there is something urgent, let's say like your blood pressure is getting really high or your blood sugar is getting really high, those are things that, we'd have to legally send you to an emergency room for. So keeping an ongoing open rapport and staying on Aston's calendar is the best way to guarantee that you don't get stuck when you really need to speak to him and he's completely booked for 2 weeks. And then he has to just hope he can find an opening for you. Okay, good. But Gary said, I'll shoot you an email. So great. Please do that, Gary. And then we'll see how we can fit you in. All right. Well, we don't have any further questions. It is 10:26. So we normally wrap up around 10:30. So if anyone wants to get another question in, please send it now. If not, Aston and I will start to wrap up and we'll end the show on time today.
Right. So I talk about those, those items in a lab report. And I think, there's just so many people who would be able to live longer if, they were able to just even know these basic things. So it's not a lot of things that, you're being asked to know. It's just those critical things in a lab report, because a lab report can only test for maybe 0.5% of all the things that could go wrong in our bodies, which means that over 99% of all the things that could go wrong, a blood test is not going to show. But the medical system in the United States, they're able to narrow down certain conditions that people have that could indicate they have a chronic disease. And that's why this high calcium is, the C-reactive protein, the sedimentation. These are the most chronic inflammation markers in a lab report indicating chronic disease. That's how critical they are. So yes, the lab report is very important. I know for a lot of you, it's not as important as you think it is, but it's very important because it gives at least some view as to what could be happening. And the lab report is what the doctors use to decide if you need an MRI or a PET scan or a sonogram or whatever medical exam, ultrasound. That's what they use to determine what to look for next, because all they're doing is searching for a pin in a haystack. If you go and to the doctor and you have a headache, or you just feel sick, or you're in the emergency room and they just can't find what's wrong, that's what they have to do. Nothing is magical. Nothing is automatic.
Right. Well, and also labs can help you see trends over time. So even when you feel good, it's good to get those regular labs as often as your insurance company will allow. But even when you're not feeling your best, but you don't necessarily have you're not diagnosed with something, but maybe you're not feeling that great, it's a good opportunity to get your doctor to justify another lab work. Because once something shows up as high or low, okay, so now we know for sure something is going on. But if we could see the buildup to say, well, how long did it go from normal to high? Did those numbers change from 3 months ago, or has it taken 2 years for those numbers to change? Because that's information, and it's helpful in knowing, like, okay, well, how much should I be investing in NuSpecian products? How aggressively should I maybe be adjusting my diet? Should I be taking advantage of the benefits of medication to help deal with this temporarily while I figure out what I'm going to do nutritionally? So constantly having a consistent set of labs does help us track trends and helps you make better decisions.
Right. So I think in the coming weeks, right here in our Q&A, and Saturday mornings, I'm going to delve more into these, because especially WBC being low, a lot of doctors dismiss it because folks, the doctors have nothing to give you to build up your white blood cells. The doctors have nothing. So when you look at your WBC and your lab report and it's low, there's nothing the doctor can do to bring it up. And it means that you're sick or you're getting sick. Either you're getting sick or you're sick if your WBC is low. Eventually, something's going to grab you, an infection or cancer. That's what's going to happen. And then you're going to say, like a lot of clients say to me, this thing was high for all this time and the doctors did nothing. There's nothing they can do. If their WBC is high, the doctors, there's nothing they can do about it either. There's no medication to bring up your white blood cells. Mm-hmm. There's none. Right. That's why we are here to help you to rebuild your body, to rebuild your immune system so the numbers go up, and we consistently see that. So yes, we get a lot of people who have fallen out of the medical system, meaning that the medical system can't help them. And that's why we're here, and that's why we have been here for so many years. And it doesn't seem like we're going anywhere.
No. And, I'm sure June would tell you that she's been joining our Q&As since the beginning. And I'm sure every time we repeat something, it's like, oh, right, I forgot that. Because it makes perfect sense when we say it. And you're like, yeah, I know that. But are you actually doing anything about it? And hearing this over and over again, a lot of people need that kind of repetition because we also go through different phases with our health issues. And so even when Aston and I know something, sometimes if a new phase in our life comes along, we have to say, okay, wait, what would we have told ourselves? And remind ourselves of these concepts. Repetition is important. Mm-hmm. I think it's Tracy Williamson, but maybe it's Trace. I apologize if I'm saying your name incorrectly, but Trace or Tracy asks, do you have any formulas that can help with, I'm assuming he or she means a hernia. They wrote hernia, which, I know not all people pronounce their H's, so maybe I'm going to assume hernia.
Right. So you should get a consultation. We don't have a starter package for that. Mm-hmm. If you have hernia, we don't have a starter package for that. So you should get our calendar. It's a more complicated health problem to not see your lab reports and get your health history before making a recommendation. So that's another good thing that you asked that question, because it reminds us to let you all know that there are certain starter packages that we haven't put on our website or our app because it's not so simple to just do a starter package, because the condition can be so different, and complicated. Like hernia is very complicated.
Mm-hmm. Depends on the root cause and everything, where it is. And
right. And how big it is, and are you taking medical treatments for it? Have you done surgery before, and then it's recurring? Because the only treatment in medicine, the primary treatment in medicine is surgery. That's how complicated it can be, and it's very painful for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So get a consultation with us and have your lab so we can sit down and talk to you about it.
Great.
Yeah. It's not a quick fix like most other things.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today on the NuSpecian Live Q&A. I have repeated the link to our form where you can opt in to receive notifications from NuSpecies, whether it's marketing and promotions or just straight up the free health education that we love to provide. You can get that through a mailing list. You can get it through an email list. We can text you, and you can also be on our app. So if you join our app, you can choose not to get notifications if you're not that kind of person, but then you have to remember to check the app all the time to find out what's going on. Ideally, you'll allow notifications so that if you don't want us texting you or emailing you, then our app will tell you what's going on. We update the app with day-to-day changes to our business hours so that you don't drive to a store and find out we're not open. We update the app with promotions, and we let you know as soon as we're going live. So We would love to see you on those lists. So that way you don't have to remember to reach out to us. Let us do the work. We'll reach out to you. And if you rely on hearing us on the radio, just remember at least 93.5 FM. Eventually that's going to switch over to new programming, and it likely will not include RE Jam where we currently advertise. So we don't want you to turn the dial one day and not hear us anymore. But we will always be streaming live on our website. We will still be putting out lots of content on social media and through our email list and through our app. So join there, and it doesn't matter what happens with the radio, you won't miss anything from New Species.
That's a true statement. And if you all love Monday School, those of you who love Monday School, we're going to do a Monday School right here on our app or our website. And we're going to continue Monday School right here. So you're not going to lose out on that. In fact, we're going to do a recast of it to, remind you of what happened before, and then we're going to get right into it. So Monday School is not going anywhere. Radio gone or not, Monday School is still going to be right here.
And if you still are listening to Monday School at 93.5 FM, but you'd prefer more of a Q&A session like this, then just watch Monday School here on NuSpecian.com. And then between the segments with DJ Roy, Astrid and I are going to be doing a little bit of Q&A and talking a bit. So we'll be live in the chat if you want to contribute. Otherwise, you can just watch and listen and take from it whatever it means for you. But that will be Monday at 11 a.m.
Great.
All right. We'll see you then. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.